Hey everybody, what's happening? Good morning, happy Sunday, and also happy last day of August. Not to mention today is the 31st and it is officially the last day of August. Because not to mention tomorrow we head into September with Labor Day being the first one to be on the scene approaching. So, be on the scene coming. So, yeah. This morning I'm making another art masterpiece video. This is number 73. The last one I did was number 72. Now showcasing drawings. So today, number 73, I'm going to showcase more drawings that I have been doing lately to keep myself busy. So yeah, you're going to be amazed what I have in store for you. Today, I'm going to showcase my drawings that have been done on wrestling figures that I have known for so long. Even going back from back then to the present, even to the future as we know it. So I've been busy lately doing wrestling figure drawings and also other types of drawings. Oh, you know what? I could show you my wrestling figure drawings, but I have a better idea. I'm gonna show you my 90s Nickelodeon drawings, even from early 2000s. So get ready as I got my book with me, so you're gonna be amazed today. So get ready to be amazed as I show you some 90s slash early 2000 Nickelodeon drawings. So give me 1 second. And if I show you some that you've already seen, so yeah, I apologize. So yeah. So here we go. I got some 90s drawing Nickelodeon characters right here that I drew, so get ready. So we're gonna start with the first one. Hold on. See if you can. Yeah, I'm sorry because of outside. I'm actually, hold on. As a matter of fact, something's in the way, so let me shut this off. That was my lamp. Okay, now let's try this. Yeah. How many of y'all remember Cat Dog? Hey, Cat Dog! What's happening? Yeah, I drew them because, the 90s, I always tell a story of what Nickelodeon was like back in the 90s. So, yeah, I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see for yourselves. I got Cat Dog in the house. Sorry, I'm just itching a little, but I'm just, scratch right now. Yep. We got Cat Dog. I still remember the theme song. Then I remember the tune of it going like dun 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 cat dog cat dog in a lonely world little cat dog good times. I even remember the neighbor that was always just wondering what they were up to, Winslow, and Cat would be like, not now, Winslow, we're in the middle of something, and Winslow like, hey, cat dog, what's going on here? Oh God, good times with Cat Dog. Yep. I'm gonna hold this up for a few minutes before I move on to the next 90s Nickelodeon character. Alrighty, we got Cat Dog. Alright, we're moving on to the next one. Yep, hang tight. I got you guys. Ooh, please tell me you remember this lad. Hold on. Yeah, I know. I apologize. Sorry, it's the morning. You know how this goes. Alright, hold on. Let me try this again. Remember Hey Arnold? Hey Arnold! Bow, wow, wow, wow. Hey Arnold! Good times with this show. This was my show growing up watching in the 90s. Hey Arnold. I was so glad I got to draw him because that was one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows growing up from the 90s. Yeah. Hey Arnold really tells a story. I was gonna draw his best friend Gerald, but I feel like Arnold was a good choice to go for. So I'll hold this up before I show you the next fellow that I drew from the 90s. Alright. Okay, we got that. Alright, who's another? Alright, so I got two Nickelodeon characters that you may know from the 90s. So get ready as I show them both, okay? And 3, 2, Ta-da! On the right, we've got Tommy from Rugrats. How many of you all remember Rugrats? And on the left, we got Doug. I remember Doug very much going back to the 90s. I remember everyone from the show. Him, his best friend Skeeter, his love interest, Patty. Who else? There was Roger, his nemesis. Also, his dog, Pork Chop, I remember. His sister, Judy. And their neighbor, who was always doing something crazy. But the rest tells everything. And his last name was Funny, because that was his last name. Doug Funny, yeah. And then we have, right here on the left, Tommy from Rugrats. I would have drawn the whole crew, but I felt like Tommy was a good choice. He was one of my favorite characters, along with Susie and Spike. Tommy, good times with Rugrats. Tommy Pickles. Good times with Rugrats. I'll hold this up for you guys before I move on to the next one. Alrighty. Yeah. Ooh. Alright, I got the next one. Oh, you guys are going to love this one. Definitely, this show was a huge hit in the 90s. And I remember heading to the early 2000s, even celebrated 10 years of the show being so phenomenal. So, get ready. Tell me if you remember these lyrics. Stop, look and watch. Get ready, get set. It's all that. Oh, oh, oh. This is all that. This is all that. Oh, oh, oh. This is all that. This is all that. Good times with all that. I remember it. I mean, the 90s into the early 2000s. The show was such a very huge hit. And the best part was, it represented the 90s so much that you remember something from the 90s coming from all that. I remember the greatest sketches ever. Let's see, which one do I remember? Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Let's see, what's another one? It's Boob. Let's see, what's another one? Super Dude, of course. Also, I am Repairman. Oh, good times, good times. The Librarian. No drinking water in the library. Good times, good times. And there had to be another one I remember. The French dude that was sitting in the bathtub playing with his toys while trying to speak French. Good times, good times. I'm going to hold this up. This is the logo I drew of the show, representing good times. And I remember all the cast members from back in the 90s. Alicia Reyes, Kel Mitchell, Katrina Johnson, Kenan Thompson, Angelique Bates, Josh Server, the great Lori Beth Denberg. We even had Amanda Bynes that was part of the crew as the 90s went on. So yeah, I remember those days. Did I say Josh Server? Josh Server, yep. He was also part of the crew too. So yeah, good times, good times. I'll hold this up so you guys can see for yourselves. I miss those good times because they just tell the nostalgia really tells it all, the stories and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can see for yourselves before I move on to the next one. Alrighty. Oh, all right. Just checking to see if I still have more right here. So yeah. So we're getting somewhere. Yeah. All right. So we're in good hands. So here's another Nickelodeon character I drew, and this dude's from the early 2000s. Quick question: How many of you remember a TV show about a dude who stepped inside his parents' machine, accidentally turned it on, and found himself mixed with strange DNA that had him to look like a ghost that can walk through walls and pretty much walk through anything without ever noticing him? Let's see. How you remember this lyrics? How many of you remember the lyrics of the TV show going like this? He's a phantom. Dun, 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 dun. He's a phantom. Dun, 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 dun. Say hello to no other than Mr. Danny Phantom. Dun, 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 dun. He's a phantom. Dun. Yeah, give it a few more minutes. Dun, 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 dun. He's a phantom. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on. All right, we're getting somewhere. Behold, Danny Phantom, another TV show I used to watch when I was growing up watching Nickelodeon. Yeah, this is from the early 2000s. Good time with Nick. Yeah, Nickelodeon. Danny Phantom was another show I never forgot about. I used to watch him every time. Good episodes were always were coming on. One of my favorite episodes would have to be the one when he was what was my favorite episode from the show? Here's one. When he met Vlad, who was also a phantom just like him. And also, Vlad had some history with his dad, who's also a ghost hunter. And let's see, what's another one that I remember from the show? Another episode. Oh, yes! The technology ghost, Techno, who was controlling everything. And then, of course, we have him facing another villain that was also trouble, who was also bad news. Yes. I remember Freak Show, who was also double bad news. And also, there was an episode where he took on the Fright Night. It was a Halloween episode. So, yeah, good times with Danny Phantom. Try to get closer for you guys to see. But you guys can see, yeah, Danny Phantom. Good times. So I'm holding this up for you guys, and then we're going to move on to the next Nickelodeon character I have in store for you guys. You guys are going to love this one, because I remember him from the early 2000s. Alrighty. Alright, ooh. Quick question. Do you remember this show from Nickelodeon in the early 2000s? First, it was made into a movie and then became a TV series. And the next thing you know, this was about a dude with a very big head, not to mention his brain because he knew so much about everything that included math, science, and the knowledge he always had when it came to adventures with his best friends. You had Carl, you had Sheen, then his rival, Cindy Vortex, and her best friend, Libby Fullfax. So, yeah. The rest tells everything. Then the teacher, Miss Fowler, and all. So let me ask you all this question: do you remember a TV show with an individual with a mechanical dog named Garter? Well, you're about to see the picture of him because I drew him during my time of doing more drawing. So say hello to no other than Mr. Individual saying this. God bless. That's right, you guessed it. Say hello to my boy, my favorite dude from growing up watching him on Nickelodeon. I give to you, hang tight, Jimmy Neutron. Right here. Jimmy Neutron, boy genius. I used to watch him every time on Nickelodeon. He always had something smart to figure out when there was trouble, and always knew what to do to solve the solution. Yep, you could tell he really did have a big head, not because of his hairdo, but because of his brain. And I remember he always thought about what he can do to make things right. You had his two best friends, Carl and Sheen. Carl Weezer, who was pretty much the one that who was with Jimmy by his side and he's also his neighbor. And then you have his best friend Sheen, who was definitely absolutely obsessed with Ultra Lord. Ultra Lord. Not to mention he wore a shirt that was part of the show put together. Yeah. So yeah, and his mechanical dog Garter. I remember Garter. I remember Garter very much. He was his best friend, along with his two best friends. So yeah, Jimmy Neutron. I swear, I just remember this. And you can see up the top. I wrote down this: a smart dude with a big brain. Believe that definitely. That was Jimmy Neutron. What was my favorite episodes from Jimmy Neutron? Oh, here was the big one. Him dealing with one of his clones that were bad news. Yeah, it came from him when he needed to find a way to do his chores around the house. And he sent his clones to take care of the chores. And he wanted to get them back all inside him except for one problem. The evil clone that he had in him was always up to no good and was looking for ways to escape from him versus going back to where it all started. And there was another one I remember. Oh, my episodes of him was facing villains that tried to defeat him, like Cousin Baby Eddie, the evil grandmother that was an alien, also Professor Finbar Calamitous, the guy who could never finish anything. Let's see, what's another villain? What's another villain I remember? Eustace Stritch, who Jimmy really couldn't stand because Eustace was full of money, was full of money, and would look for ways of trying to defeat Jimmy. Let's see. What's another villain that tried to defeat Jimmy? Of course, there was one I remember. The bandits, those aliens, the ones he first met with his friends again when they went on a planet to look for more rubies. And let's see. I swear there was another villain that. Well, Jimmy's faced every villain that's tried to defeat him. And I also remember the episode when he met Jet Fusion, who was a super secret spy. Yep. Voiced by famous actor Christian Slater. And then Michael Clark Duncan, he played the voice of Commander Baker, who recruited Jimmy to help stop Finbar Calamitous. Yep. Oh, that agent voiced by Wendy Malick, Beautiful Gorgeous. I remember her too. She was also bad news because she was always siding with Finbar Calamitous. Yep. I'll hold this up for a few more seconds and then we'll move on to the next Nickelodeon character. So yeah, I've got another one that you guys can never forget. So hang tight. Okay. Alrighty. Oh yes. Alright, my friends, I got one more Nickelodeon character. I'm trying to see if I have another. If not, that might be all the Nickelodeon characters I have drawn so far. Yes. I'm just looking, just making sure. Yes. I have one more, and this drawing is from the 90s. How many of you remember a TV show where monsters from different worlds would try to come into our world, look for trouble, even mischief, or do something crazy just to get their day going? Well, look no further because I have this drawing that you probably remember. I have a drawing of these characters from this TV show. Let me ask you all a question. This is a big one from the 90s. How many of you all remember a TV show called Real Monsters? Well, look no further because here's the drawing of these characters from Real Monsters. Bam! Hold on. Let me get right here. Here we go. Almost there. Hold on a sec. I hate when this happens. Here we go. Real Monsters. Yep. Good times to remember. Yep. Real Monsters. You remember these three that were always doing something crazy. Yep. I remember this show very much from the 90s. And I remember their leader, who was voiced by famous actor Jim Belushi. The blue creature who would always say these words when the show started with an intro going like, "You make me sick." Yep, that was the show I remember. Real Monsters. Good times. I'll hold this up for you guys to see before it's time to wrap things up. I'm so glad I saved this best for last, so yeah. Alright, almost there, my friends, and then this will be it for today, this morning, so yeah. I'm holding this up right now. Yeah, I was showing wrestling figure drawings today, but I feel like the 90s/early 2000s Nickelodeon drawings was much better to start with. Was a much better start to go for, so yeah. Yeah. Few seconds, I'm gonna wrap this up, so yeah. There you go. All right. Okay, my friends, that ends it for this morning of my art masterpieces. This was number 73. Today, you got to see me showcase my 90s slash early 2000 Nickelodeon drawings from Cat Dog to Real Monsters. Yep. So, and yeah, I did some drawings of two including two characters from the early 2000s of Nickelodeon, Danny Phantom and my boy Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You're more than welcome to watch this. Just to remember the good times, the nostalgia that always comes about when you remember what you used to watch as a little youngster. So yeah. Other than that, I just want to say thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the last day of August today and tomorrow, because it's a 3-day weekend. We head into September with Labor Day being the actual start of September. So yeah. Other than that, take care, my friends. Have a wonderful day. Make the most out of today, and I will see you guys next time with my art masterpieces video, number 74. And number 74, I'll tell you this: I will show you my wrestling figure drawings. So yeah, you will definitely be looking. You will definitely be looking at the wrestling figures that I have drawn in my drawing. So yeah. So be on the lookout for number 74. Other than that, take care, my friends, and I will see you all next time.